Hello. Welcome in. Happy New Year. My gosh, I haven't been here in a couple of weeks. I've been busy just doing Christmas stuff and working on my new book. And I'm so excited to be here. I love a new year. I love a new energy. And I am Tammy Master Birdie. If you're new to me, best-selling author of The Universe is Talking to You. And I help people tap into the divine connection that is available to us all, that divine higher helpline for guidance and answers. And I'm going to be doing an oracle card reading for the new year using Colette Baron Reid's Wisdom of the Oracle cards. And what I'm going to be asking is whether you are with me live here right now or you are watching this later on a replay. What I'm going to be asking is, what does everybody most need to know, understand, or be aware of for more success, more happiness, more joy, more everything in 2023? What do we most need to know or pay attention to? So let's see. I just want to make sure. No, this is not working. Why are my AirPods not connected? Hold on. I just want to make sure you guys don't get an echo. So that's basically the plan for today and what I'm going to focus on, because I feel like it's a new year and most people get excited about a new year because they're like, oh, I can change everything in my life, right? And, overall, you can change everything in your life at any point. But at this point, I want you to sort of have a focus, and I want you to take things slow. That's my advice. Don't try to change your entire life by January 31st. I want you to take it slow and make small changes that build on one another if you're trying to change things. That's my advice for that. Otherwise, a lot of the times we wind up disappointed by January 31st. But what I'm doing with this is just asking the universe, listen, everybody live or on the replay, what advice do you have? We're starting a new year. And here's the thing, it actually is a new energy. 2023 is a different energy than 2022 numerology wise. So if you look up, we're in the universal year. We all have a personal year based on our birth date. I am not a numerology expert at all. I'm just letting you know what I know. We all have a personal year based on our birth date. So every year at our birth date, we sort of change into a new energy. But universally, we all move into a new energy as well as the numbers change. So we moved from a 6-year universally in 2022 to a 7-year in 2023. So briefly, what is a 7-year? And you can look it up. It's the universal year, meaning all of us collectively are feeling this energy. And what that 7-year is universally is about going inward, is about self-reflection. It's about spirituality, spiritual awakenings, personal growth. Collectively, that is the energy we are now moving into or have moved into as of January 1st, 2023, because we're in a new year. So those of us who are on a spiritual path, we're just like, yay, because we're doing it, right? But what's good about it is the energy of this year lends itself to that. So the energy of this year is going to make it easier for you to have spiritual growth, have spiritual awakenings, have personal growth, go inward and grow as a person. So that's the good news about the year. For those of us who are already on a spiritual path, it's going to help us along. And of course, those of you who are watching live or on the replay, I always forget to say, please like the video. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. It really does help get this out to more people due to the fun algorithms that are out there. So be sure to like the video and hang out. I'm live every Thursday here, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, every Thursday. I don't do oracle card readings every Thursday, but I like to do them every now and then. So let's dive in. So again, 2023, new energy. What do we most need to know, understand, or be aware of? We are asking the universe. So I pre-pulled the cards in the interest of time, literally right before I hit the live button. So I just pulled these cards. I saw somebody had asked, let me just go back really quick. had asked if I can't, I forget where it is, but somebody had asked, is this the only Oracle card deck I use? No, it is not the only Oracle card deck I use. I just happen to love this one. Out of all of them, there's actually a video on my YouTube channel you will find that I explain why I love this one so much. So I use this one in my one-on-one client sessions. I use it for the membership community that I have. I do monthly readings with them. And so I tend to use it a lot, but it's not the only one. Okay, so let's jump in. So, oh, it's in my lap. The book is in my lap. All right, so the first card that I pulled, and again, what do you need to know, understand, or be aware of for this entire year, right? What do you need to know for this entire year? Another way I ask this is, what do you not know now that if you did, might make a difference in your year to help you manifest, heal, grow, find more joy, find more success? The first card that I pulled is the Time to Go card. And it's in the, I'm just showing Instagram. It's in the reversed, or what Colette calls the protection position. So it has sort of a singular reversed message. So let's see, what are we going from? Let's see what the universe wants us to know about that. So I mean, obviously the card itself, Time to Go, is talking about like endings, completing things, moving on from things, right? And walking away from something because there's nothing else to learn from the experience. That's sort of what the overall meaning is of the card. But we're going to look up what the protection message is, which is a single message. I already love this, by the way. Okay. So what this is saying to everyone is, even if it appears that you've reached the end of a line and all is lost, it isn't. You're in a situation that will resurface again later. So consider this a break rather than an ending. So I want you to think, in my life, in all areas of my life, if you're looking at 2022, what are you in a break from right now? What has sort of seemed like maybe it came to an end? Could it be a relationship? Could it be a business? Could it be, anything that you kind of feel like maybe you've walked away from, or you feel like it's an ending? And the universe is saying it may just be a break. And if it is a break, I promise you, if it's happening, it's because it's necessary. All right. So destiny is in charge here. You lose nothing and gain everything when you surrender to that fact. It's like the serenity prayer, right? Like, what can I change? What can I not change? And give me the courage to change what I can. I just totally paraphrased that. Your soul knows that your destiny is unfolding with perfect timing and synchronicity. Your small self has doubts, right? We always doubt, like, does the universe really know what it's doing? Because this doesn't seem right. Your small self has doubts, but that is natural, as it doesn't have the map of your destiny that your soul does. Spirit loves you. Trust that. Here's the deal. Your soul, your spirit that's inhabiting this physical human body knows everything. It knows everything. And when I say soul, I sort of combine that with like the connection to your subconscious mind, which is connected to the overall mind, right? So your soul, and I teach people how to get answers from their own soul, okay? Your soul knows what your blocks are, knows the limiting beliefs that you have, knows the answers to your problems, knows why things are happening in your life, knows the road that is ahead of you and the options that are going to be laid out before you. Your soul knows it all. That's why, and this year, everybody, the universal year is about going within, right? When you go within, that's when you make contact with that all-knowing, which is connected to the all-knowing source and universe. What this is saying is that this year, you need to trust that a little bit more. You need to connect with that a little bit more and know that, as I teach all of the time, even when things seem a certain way, when it seems like this relationship is over, when it seems like this job opportunity is gone, when it seems like I'm never going to move forward with this, I have to walk away, that doesn't necessarily mean that's what it is, because the universe always has a plan. The universe is always sending you towards something. Even if you get fired, even if a relationship ends, even if you go bankrupt, whatever horrible thing, even if there's a death in your family, whatever it might be, we see on the surface what's going on, but it's always leading you to something, which is why I teach people to go back in their own life and trace those steps. In my book, there's a whole exercise called Follow the Footsteps, because when you can find that in your own life, now when something horrible happens, you can go, and this is what I do. Anytime something crazy is going on, I'm like, oh my God, I don't know why this is happening, but I know it's leading me somewhere. I don't know, this is miserable, but I know that it's leading me somewhere. That 9.9 times out of 10, it's leading me somewhere better. And I just have to trust it. What this card is saying to you is there are things in your life that you thought are done, that you thought I have to let go of, that you thought are not going to come back. Maybe it could be a business. It could be anything. Think about what endings you feel like you left in 2022. The universe is saying, if you're not happy about that ending, if you are unhappy that it didn't work out the way that you wanted, do not be surprised if it comes back around. And it will come back around in the exact timing that is divine. It will come back around in the timing that is best for your highest good and anybody else involved. And our soul knows what that is, but we in our conscious mind have no idea. So I like that the universe is saying, listen, you may have walked away from some stuff, but don't be surprised if it comes back around. If it may, and here's the other thing that's coming to me right now, it may come back around in a different form. It may come back around in a different way that might not hit you at first. But there are themes, there are lessons, there are circumstances that are going to resurface for you this year. And all you can do right now is surrender and trust that if it does come back around, it is for a purpose. It is because the universe is leading you to something better. So just trust where you are right now. That's sort of the overall meaning of this first card. Okay, let's go to the second card, or what I call the card under the deck. So the card under the deck is the Observer card. The Observer card. This, I love this for the beginning of a year also, because my gosh, if we can do this more in our lives, things would be different. Okay. So this is what the universe wants to take with you into the new year, wants you to know and remember. Okay. Observer. The observer, and this is in the regular position. This is not, reversed. So the Observer is all about perspective, objectivity, neutral observation from a distance. Okay. Most people see the world through a personal lens, right? We think everything is about us. We take everything personally. Anything that anybody does around us, we assume it's to hurt us or to whatever. They closely identify with their feelings and experiences, so much so that they come to believe that these are the only reality, right? When we see things through our personal lens, we are missing the full picture. And then we take that on and we believe it to be true, but it's not always true. There are times when you need distance in order to gain perspective and understand your circumstances from a more neutral vantage point. Now is one of those times in your life. And this, again, is for the full year. I want you to take this with you all year. Now is one of those times in your life. This is a perfect moment for you to begin to do some exploring. Instead of only considering yourself, consider what you need to understand about the conditions, the people, the culture, and the environment you're engaged with now. You'll be so happy you did. Illumination is the miracle you seek and will indeed find. Now, let me read you the relationship message under this, because we're going to read all of these messages. And then we're going to talk about it. The relationship message is sometimes you just can't see the forest for the trees in your way. Feelings can get all jumbled up, and often you hear one thing when a person says another. How true is this? And you swear you heard them say something and it wasn't, right? It can be like an echo of unresolved past experience dubbed over your conversation. Our past traumas, the things that trigger us. Take time out before you react. It's likely the other person has no idea how his or her words have affected you. Take a few steps back and lend understanding to the situation. Have faith in your connection and trust that you can come together. Take to higher ground now and cultivate curiosity about what you observe in yourself, in others, and in the landscape. You will find something much improved sooner than you know. And I want to read the prosperity message, and then we're gonna break it down. Under prosperity, remember we're reading the Observer. It is an advantageous time for you to get some distance from what you're doing and see your work and your projects from a different perspective. The trick is to connect to the essence of your goals and aspirations while letting the form and timing be dictated by spirit. You may be too personally attached to an outcome and unable to see the miracle because it's not turning out exactly as you planned. Remember, I said sometimes things they don't come back the way we think they're going to come back, or things don't play out the way we think they're going to play out. So we think something's wrong. The perfect version of your abundance is right in front of you. Remain neutral and curious and watch the miracle unfold. Okay, what does this mean for this year? So first of all, we're going to have situations that are reemerging in some way. And I promise you, if they're coming back because something better is coming from them. You're going to learn something from them. Remember, we're in the 7-year spiritual growth and personal growth. The Observer card is saying, as you move through this year, I keep thinking of that Don, this cat is trying to jump on my lap. Don, what's his name? Louise something. He has a book of the 4 Agreements, and he talks about not taking things personally. That should be a mantra that you take with you this year. I am not going to take, here's the cat. I am not going to take everything personally. I am going to take a step back from things. I am going to not react immediately. I'm going to take a minute and ask myself, what am I not seeing here? Am I taking this personally? Could there be another perspective? If you can do this in your relationships, if you can do this in business, in career, if you can do this with money, if you can do this with your health and the doctors and a diagnosis, if you can stop and take a step back and say, I'm going to moving my emotions aside. And the best way to do this is to say, what if this wasn't happening to me? What if this was happening to a friend or a family member? And they came to me and told me about this situation. What would I see that maybe I'm not seeing now? What advice would I give this friend or family member or this other person? That's the Observer. Because when we are involved, when it's our own life, and I say this, if you've taken my pendulum class before, you know I have said this many, many times. I believe the same thing with oracle card readings. When you are emotionally attached to an outcome, when you are emotionally attached to something, when you feel offended or slighted or whatever, this cat's going to drive me nuts. It is very, 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 very hard to see the truth or to get the answer. So I always tell people, if you're emotionally attached to the outcome, don't do the oracle card reading. Don't ask the pendulum. Get somebody else to do it who has that neutral vantage point, who has that ability to step back and see something from a different place. Because if your emotions are involved, they are going to be infused into those cards or infused into the pendulum. You need to get that perspective. That is what this is saying. So as you're moving through this year, which is more, it's a 7-year, so it's about personal growth. It's about spirituality. It's about going inward. It's about reflection. So these cards are not surprising me. what the universe is saying to you is live from that point. Live from that space this year as much as you can. As much as you can, try to take a minute to listen, I love you to death, but you're killing me. Everybody say hi to Callie. Try to take a step back and say, what am I not seeing? What am I not missing? Or what am I missing? What am I not seeing? What can I get a perspective? Can I ask an observer? Can I ask an outside person for their opinion? Or can I look at this as if my friend, my sibling, my whomever came to me and said, here's the situation. What am I not seeing? What would I tell that person? What advice would I give? That's how I want you to move through. If you can do that, if you can stop before you react, if you can take a step back out of your emotions, out of taking things personally, and see things from this higher perspective, it will change so much of how you feel, of how you move through your life, of how you interact with other people. I mean, my Lord, if we can just do this in relationships, I was talking to a friend the other day about it, and we were talking about the fact that, like, sometimes it's okay to just, like, if someone dumps something on you, it's okay to say, I'm just going to need 5 minutes to process this. 5 minutes to process this. Let me just process it and get back to you. I am that type of person. I need to process things. Otherwise, I freak out, right? So if you dump something on me, like, my first reaction is to be like, oh my God, the sky is falling. We're all doomed. And then I have to stop myself and I have to be like, okay, wait a second. And so, and also the other thing is, if somebody asks me to do something, my as a giving type of a person, my first reaction would be to say yes. My first reaction would be, of course. And then afterwards, I might regret it because I might be like, oh my God, why did I say yes to this? I can't do, like, oh my God. Taking that step back and saying, it's okay. Just give me 5 minutes to process and let me really think this through. And if you could take that into your relationships and take that into your year, oh my gosh, huge difference. And that's what the universe is saying. And it's saying it because we are in a 7-year. This is a year about going inward. This is a year about self-reflection, looking at yourself, changing yourself, growing yourself. How can you do that? You can do that by taking that observer stance. So the two pieces of this are, again, number one, that time to go, which is in the reverse position. So it's literally saying to you, you may think something is over and it may pop back up. And I promise you, if it pops back up, it is destined, it is divine. Allow it and trust it and surrender to it. If it doesn't pop back up, your lesson is done. Your lesson is over. You don't need to continue that friendship or that relationship or that business relationship or working with a particular situation or whatever it might be. If it truly doesn't come back, that means your lesson is done. If it comes back around, it will come back around in the right time, and it will come back around because there is more growth. And again, we're in a year of personal growth. It will come back around because there's more for you to learn from that person, from that experience. And in doing that, you are going to remember the observer card. And you are going to remember, I have to try to look at things from a different perspective, whether that be asking somebody else to help me do that or going from that perspective of what would I tell others if this wasn't my situation. And also trying to see things not in a way that it is the way most of us do, which is taking things personally, right? Taking that step back, saying, just give me a minute. Let me process this. Let me look at this from all angles. Let me not just come at it from emotion. Let me not just automatically react because now you said something and now I'm offended, or now you did something and oh my gosh, you're so wrong. Taking that step back. So those are the things that are going to help you through this universal year of growth, of spirituality, of spiritual awakening, of reflection. It's going to help you move through that. So that's sort of the overall message that that the universe wanted everybody to know for this year. And I really think it fits Because the other thing about a year of spiritual growth, spiritual awakening, self-reflection, and all of that is those lessons that have not been learned will come back because we can now grow from them. The universal energy of this 7 year will allow you to get the things that maybe you didn't get before. The universal energy of the year of growth, of personal growth, is going to throw those things back at you that you didn't grow from, that you didn't learn, that you thought were over, that you walked away from, but there's more to learn. It will literally throw it back in your face. It's so fun. And that's the spiritual path, right? Like people think, and I hear this all the time from spiritual teachers, and they say, you think you go on this spiritual path and now everything's going to be wonderful, and I'm going to be meditating and I'm going to be relaxed and everything's going to be fantastic and I'm going to give and it's all going to come back and everything's going to manifest and I'm going to have all my desires and everything is going to be so wonderful. But I'll tell you something, when you go on a spiritual path, all of your crap is going to come up. It's like your romantic relationships, man, everything is going to come up in that relationship to trigger you, to annoy you, to grow. That's what this year is about. So it's not shocking to me that the universe is saying like, some stuff might come back at you, but be excited if it comes back at you, because this is your chance and the universal energy is going to help you get it right. The universal energy is going to help you figure it out and actually grow and move forward from it now. That's what your year is about. So it's all good. It's all good, basically, is what I'm saying. And I love it. I love this reading. I think it's awesome. And it's going to be interesting now because I listen, I do this reading for anybody live or on the replay, and I include myself in it. So now I am going to be looking at what is coming back up for me and back around. And when it does, I'm going to say to myself, remember that reading you did? This is a growth opportunity. This is coming back for a reason. I'm going to be a better person having dealt with this, gone through this. I'm going to be in a better place. And now once I get through it, I'm going to have these tools that got me through it, that the next time something like this comes around, I'm going to be like, I've been through this. I got it. I can handle it. Right. Whereas the first time it comes around, you're like, oh my God, what do I do? But once you work through it, you learn stuff. Okay. So I want to go back. If anybody has any questions while I am still live, feel free to throw them in. I just want to go back and see any of the comments or any of the questions that I might have missed. Oh, Mary is saying I think you're talking about the Oracle cards. You ordered them yesterday and you will have them tomorrow. I love these Oracle cards. I really, really do. And I love the fact that it gives them multiple meanings, right? So it's not just the energy of the cards, but I love the fact that I can see an overall meaning, and then I can see how does this meaning reply to relationships, and how does this meaning reply to prosperity? And prosperity to me is also business and career. So that's why I love this deck. And I've told Colette that herself, that this is my favorite deck. Everybody's saying Happy New Year, Happy New Year. Sam is saying this card definitely resonates, especially during Mercury retrograde and these full moon energies. I mean, isn't that let me tell you, can you believe that literally it's like a new year, but we literally launched into a Mercury retrograde as well? I can't. And listen, and it always happens to me. And oh, by the way, I didn't even mention that the 10th season of our Living an Elevated Existence Mind, Body, and Soul Summit is launching next week. It's 3 months long, you guys. It's not one of those summits where everything gets crammed in. I'm going to be live every Tuesday and Thursday on audio that you can listen to, interviewing amazing spiritual teachers who are going to have free gifts and special offers for everyone. And that is launching. And it's funny because I always wind up hitting a Mercury retrograde during this. So, I mean, knock on wood, there's no technology issues, but if there is, just know I'm blaming it on technology. I'm blaming it on Mercury retrograde. And yes, the full moon energies. Well, full moon energies is great because now you can sort of set your intentions, do your releasing, all of that kind of stuff. Yes, Sam, this was it. I couldn't think of his name. Don Miguel Ruiz. Sometimes my brain doesn't work right. The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. So anytime I always hear something about not taking something personally, or I go back to that because that's one of his 4 agreements, is you can change your life by not taking things personally, because everybody is coming from somewhere. Everybody has something going on in their lives. You know, you and again, like I read in that reading, you could hear something, and it's filtered through your lens, your past trauma, your past experiences, and it triggers something, and it's not even exactly what was said, right? So we have to realize that nothing is really personal. Everybody is going through their own stuff and coming from their own place. Let's see. Oh, what is the name of the Oracle card you joined late? It is Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron-Reid. That's the cards that I usually use. And I have other decks of hers, and I have many other Oracle card decks that I like to use. Oracle cards, angel cards, whatever you want to call it. I just gravitate toward this one a lot. So when you see me like in the summit, I'm going to be doing a lot of Zoom calls once a month during the summit, during the 3-month summit. I'll be going live on Zoom to everybody who's signed up. And it's free to listen to the summit, by the way. There's no, I don't charge anything. It's free to listen. It's elevatedexistencesummit.com. You can sign up now and you get 2 bonus gifts, actually, a meditation from me and a customizable prayer to help you in every area of your life as you go through the year. But I do Oracle card readings every month, where I do a group Oracle card reading to what the universe wants us to know right now, as well as I'll do individual readings. And I'm always using this. And again, I use this in my one-on-one sessions, and I have a paid membership community. We do a Facebook Live once a month, and I use this as well. So this is my preferred deck, but it's definitely not the only deck that I use. And Colette has a number of decks as well. It's just this was like an early on deck. This was years ago this deck came out. She has so many other decks that have come out, but this is I've had it for years and years and years, and I love it. And I'll probably keep using it until I create my own at some point. So anyway, so that is, I don't see any other questions, I don't think. So that is the reading for the new year, you guys. And again, if you join that summit, I'm going to be live actually next Friday. I'll remind you, because I'll be back here Thursday for another weekly spirit boost. But next Friday, I'll be doing Oracle card readings in the summit live on Zoom. And then I do that every month. I teach a couple of classes. And the summit itself is all about mind, body healing, intuition, and manifestation. So if you're interested in any of those, it's completely free to listen to. We have a great time. People do live energy healing and live exercises and all of that kind of stuff. And it's every Tuesday and Thursday with a free 48-hour replay. So if you just go to elevatedexistencesummit.com, you can sign up for that. We start next week, next Tuesday. And I can't wait. I look forward to it every year. I cannot believe it is season 10, which means I've done this 10 years, and everybody looks forward to it. I only do it once a year. It's always January through the end of March, with some replays in April, and it's awesome. So, oh, somebody's just saying what the cards were. So anyway, thank you guys for being here. Have an amazing rest of your day. Have an amazing rest of your weekend. I hope you will join us in the summit starting next Tuesday. But I, of course, will be back here next Thursday for another weekly spirit boost. So I'll remind you of that. And just have an amazing weekend. And remember, and just go back to this. Go back to this. It'll live on my Facebook or my YouTube or my Instagram. When you try to, when something happens to you this year and you're like, what was the advice? You can come back to this reading. So thank you all for being here. Happy New Year. Happy 2023. Happy year, universal year of spiritual growth and spiritual awakenings. Hopefully I can be someone who helps you on that path this year as well. And sending you all my love. I'll see you guys later. Bye, everyone.